Hello, folks, and welcome back to Rhetoric 306 at the University of Texas. It is still me, Dr. Jennifer Sapio, and I am again thrilled to be with you this week for week 12 of our asynchronous course together. This week is work week. I've got a short video coming for you here clarifying instructions for your Project 3 proposal, which we have been working on for weeks. We're here at the end of Unit 3. We're going to take a look at a sample Project 3 proposal to really specify and clarify for you a way forward. And I will also share with you the instructions for the last two scaffolded assignments that you'll be working on this week, discussion 13 post and getting ready to submit your rough draft for peer review. So that is our agenda for the day. Let's go ahead and hop right in to reminding ourselves about those assignment instructions for Project 3, which we all know and we have been working toward together. So you are proposing a course of action related to this topic, this issue that you have been researching for Project 2. You are collecting 3 additional sources. Secondary, yes, the usual, you're used to newspaper articles, chapters from books, peer-reviewed or scholarly materials. But in addition, you want to make sure to do some original primary research, which may be in the form of sending around a survey. Please feel free to use us, create a Google form, and I'll be happy to distribute it to our classmates, or even in the form of an informal interview. You can ask a few questions of your roommate if they are stakeholders or invested in your issue in any way. You're targeting a particular local audience, which we're going to see an example of in a moment when we get to the Project 3 example, and primarily you are proposing a course of action, a solution to this issue that you are so invested in, supporting it with evidence from your research and with your best, most convincing and persuasive rhetorical appeals. I'm so excited to read these. Let me just say that. Those are the bones, but let's return to the specific breakdown of the instructions on the Canvas course website and make sure we are clear there. So meet me over at the course website. Okay, I'm in the modules on Canvas, and if you scroll down to Unit 3, here we are, proposing a course of action, you will see that Project 3 assignment, the 100-point big assignment here. Project 3 is your most heavily weighted assignment in the course. It's going to compose 30% of the course grade. And so I wanted to lean in a little more significantly here, give you some additional time on the back end to revise and get that final draft perfected, which gives us some leeway here with these 2 assignments that I have slotted in for that peer review process to work really well, I hope, and seamlessly online. So we are aiming toward most urgently on Monday, a peer review of your Project 3 draft in progress. Wherever you are on Monday, you're going to submit that, get eyes on it before I see it even, and you'll have a few days to turn around your feedback for your peers. Your peers will give you feedback on your essays. You'll be able to reflect, revise them, and turn them around for me, that final draft due. I will say more about the peer review process on next week's video, but do be alert to your peer review upcoming on Monday. This is where you're going to be submitting your draft for Monday on the peer review assignment, which we can click on in just a moment. The reason I came over here was to show you the Project 3 requirements which you have seen before. These on another video on a previous week, but I wanted to remind you of them again now that we've made our way through the readings and the lectures. I think all of the elements are falling in place here for you to really be able to envision your way forward for your proposal. So of course, we're writing a persuasive argument, proposing a course of action, solving a problem, finding a practical way forward. I'm so excited to see what you have to say. Of course, you are acknowledging a variety of viewpoints and trying to convince multiple stakeholders with this proposal. You can refer back to chapter 11 to remind you of any of those elements of the proposal argument. And of course, also you will likely need to be explaining, defining, or redefining, or evaluating various issues within your controversy as well. Refer back to our reading in chapter 8, 9, and 10 as appropriate there. Excuse me. You may have a very practical proposal aimed at a specific audience, like city council. We talked about reaching out to the university administrative offices, maybe the president of the university or a congressperson, or you might be writing like an opinion column to, for example, the Daily Texan or UT News. In any case, you are actually indicating who this audience is at the beginning of your essay, which I'll show you in the sample in just a moment. You are identifying that imagined audience and venue at the top of the paper in 2 to 3 sentences. To write this argument, as we know, you are completing additional research, including primary research, like I said, in the form of user surveys, perhaps also secondary research. You're targeting that local audience, as we've said, and you're proposing that course of action, addressing a problem. Your argument specifically, as I said, imagines the audience at the beginning. It is typed 1,500 to 2,200 words long, double-spaced, following MLA formatting and citation style. You're setting up the exigence of the problem, convincing us in the first place that this is an issue where there's a gap or a need, establishing the exigence and the significance of the problem. You are clearly articulating a course of action, defending your argument with reasons and evidence, and incorporating at least 3 new credible sources you're adding to your document set. As you were working toward in your discussion post 12 for last week, where you were anticipating problems with your proposal, you will want to address any potential objections with a concession, perhaps saying, look, my opposing arguments have a point here, right? That's a really good ethical move, or refuting falsehoods if necessary, or countering any of your opposition's arguments as appropriately. Of course, you are writing effectively and coherently. And as we said, and as we'll talk about in detail next week, you will participate in a peer review process, review others' works, and have yours reviewed as well. That is an essential and required part of this assignment, which I look forward to, and I hope you will find to be a helpful and productive element of your writing process as well. So let's go ahead now and peek at the sample project 3 from a previous year from another class, but this should give you an idea, perhaps a template. Again, really hoping to kind of oil those gears and get you to envision a way forward for your project 3. So let's go back to modules and then scroll down to unit 3. At the very bottom, you'll see the project 3 sample. Open that in a new window. And here is our friend Sadie's students' project 3 example, proposal, creating a new outreach strategy for SSD. Okay. So as you can see, and I have shared this Google document with you, you don't have editing permissions on it, but I think you are able to make a copy of it. So if you would like to use, use it to make a copy for a template, that absolutely works for me. Let me take a sip of my coffee. Okay, as you can see here at the top, you literally have the audience indicated in a line or two. And this is what that requirement was indicating for your Project 3 assignment requirements here. So you can literally write out audience. Here is who I am proposing that I am speaking to for this letter, this memo, this op-ed, whatever it is. Just write your hypothetical or presumed audience here. Now, next steps would of course be to actually send them, and extra points if you do. Let me know if y'all want to follow up, but certainly at least hypothetically, you put your imagined audience here. So our Sadie student is writing to Emily Shryock, Assistant Director of SSD here on campus, who develops and coordinates outreach and assessment. And so the Project 3 is written in the form of a letter, which will be the most convincing and effective way to communicate with this presumed audience. And yours may not be a letter, but your form is going to be whatever form is going to be most convincing and most effective for the topic you are discussing and for the audience you are trying to convince. Maybe this has to be in a really rigid or specific form because you are participating in student government and the way you propose changes is in a really rigid format and you need to follow that. Or there's a certain word limit for daily text and articles and you want to conform to that. Let's talk about that, okay? You do want to alter your form here depending on your audience. If you are writing to, your congressperson about an issue in Austin, then you would want to write in a really formal letter format, for example. Okay, so I'm excited to see your audiences that you're going to be reaching out to and the way you're going to adapt your communication style to be most effective in each case. Yay. This is the kind of stuff that excites me. Okay, our sample student goes on, okay, indicating how important this issue is, as we see here. You can see clear in-text citation using quotations, showing the exigence. 1,034 students are registered in 2019 to 2020 with a total of 3,059 students using accommodations in spring 2020. So talking about how important this issue is, how it affects so many on campus. And we have a clear kind of thesis statement I can see here in this proposal. The student says, I first discussed this problem in more detail by presenting some research and then propose 2 changes. Okay, that is a pretty clear and direct way forward. And we see subheaders indicating the sections of the essay. We've got the problem. Students don't know they can ask for accommodations. And this is supported with, again, evidence, quotations, in-text citations, clear explanation and commentary, which I'm not going to read for you all now, but again, you have this link in your modules. You can check out this sample at your leisure. The second section in subheadings, it gets to the proposal, what the planned solutions are to improve outreach. We've got clearly change 1 indicated. A web app our student suggests would be a great way to improve outreach on campus for SSD students. And the second change suggested is faculty and staff training and clear explanations and definitions of a way forward there. So look, you can see this sincere and authentic appeal at the end. Ms. Shyrock, I hope that SSD can consider this proposal for improving outreach by implementing these two changes, a web app and faculty staff training. SSD can reach more students and improve more lives. What a powerful emotional appeal there. The more students SSD can reach, the closer it can get to its mission of ensuring that students with disabilities have equal access to their academic experiences at UT. Thank you so much for your time and for considering some changes that would provide more access to students across the university. Powerful kind of final punch there in the conclusion. Okay, so we've seen all of the clear instructions for your Project 3 assignment. We have seen a sample student work here, your Project 3 example, and now I want to clarify the way forward for you and make sure you understand the next two steps in the next two rungs, if you will, in the ladder as we move forward on our scaffolded assignments this week. So back on the Canvas course website, in discussions, you are going to see your next and most urgent short assignment getting you one step ahead in your process. Discussion post 13. Post an outline of your Project 3 if you haven't already envisioned your organizational strategy, your train of thought, your reasoning in your argument. This is the time to do it. For Friday, you will post discussion 13, an outline of your Project 3. And then again, for Monday, you are going to go into your modules, and under Unit 3, you're going to post your draft in progress. So once you've outlined, you will move forward with your draft in progress. Whatever you have on Monday, you're going to send around for peer review. And on that note, look, this is not the graded version that I'm going to see. However, I think the better quality you're able to compose and come up with and invent in time for Monday, the better feedback your peers are going to be able to give you. And then ultimately, when you have that additional week to reflect and revise, the better quality your final project will be. So do your best this week for Friday to post discussion 13, that outline, and for Monday to get your draft in progress posted for peer review. So let's head over, just to clarify and have it in writing there, to our for next time slide. Okay, here it is in writing, and this is a short video as promised. Action item 1, post discussion 13, an outline of your proposal by Friday. Action item 2, submit your proposal draft, due Monday for peer review under that peer review assignment in Module 3. Action item 3, reach out to me as always with any questions or concerns at jsapio@utexas.edu, or visit me during office hours on Wednesday morning, or we can schedule a time of your convenience. I hope y'all have a great work week, imagining, outlining, composing Project 3. I look forward to seeing these. We'll talk much more about peer review and head into our final week next week. I look forward to seeing y'all then. Take care.